Most people, if you know them well enough, are very, very happy to help. So think about partnerships with people, think about referral arrangements, or even if it's just like literally a handshake agreement, which is like, hey, I'll try and tip you into work whenever I can, and if you tip me into work whenever you can, that'd be awesome. So think about partnerships and referrals as a great source of generating revenue really, really quickly. Hello everyone, Josh here. Welcome to another episode of the Ignite podcast. I am pumped for today's episode, team. We are talking today all about how to generate revenue quickly. So I've got a bunch of things that I want to share with you, a bunch of strategies, some tactics and some insights, and I'll be encouraging you to do a bit of homework or set some work-ons and actions coming out of today's episode. So let's get into it, team. I guess this episode, the idea came from a training that I built for our clients, for our boardroom members last year. It's called Clients Over Christmas, and it's like the whole idea is like, as business owners or as an industry, I feel like we just accept that the industry is going to be quiet over that sort of January, February kind of period, and we always just assume, revenue is going to be down, everyone's away on holidays, and we kind of just accept it to be the norm. And so I was like thinking, mid to last quarter of last year, I was like, it's just not true. Like, I don't want us, particularly my members, my clients, to just assume that revenue is going to be down, therefore I'll just have to pick it up in March. And I was like, let's just build something that's going to help our members have 3 to 5 kind of core strategies that are going to help them generate revenue super, super quick. And so I just wanted to share them with you on today's episode. So let's get into it. I'm just going to be talking you through like what the strategies are, why they're important, how you can use them in your business, take notes. Hopefully there's a bunch of takeaways. And like I said, I'll be encouraging you to set actions towards the end. So I think team, we're going to use these strategies. It's all about generating revenue quickly. So if you're doing your forecasting and you're like, oh damn, there's a hole coming up in the next, in month 3, we need to get on the phone, we need to fill that gap. If you just want to start to grow, you've brought on a new team member or a new senior person, you're like, all right, let's put the foot down and really start to see what this thing's capable of. There could be a bunch of reasons why you want to generate revenue quickly. And so this episode is applicable to all of those areas. There'll be different strategies that will apply to you in different phases of your business. So let's get into it, team. Fair bit to cover. So first things first, really important that you build out your traffic light system. So what is a traffic light system? Well, it's a very, very simple system for you to identify your green, your yellow, and your red opportunities that are in front of you. So we've got a full system that we've built out for our boardroom members based on the traffic light system. But the whole concept or theory is that nothing falls through the cracks. So if you've got a fee proposal that's out there, if you've got an opportunity that could turn into work, all of those things go into your traffic light system, and they go under one of those 3 categories. So green is typically work that's going to, green is opportunities that are going to turn into work in less than 3 months' time. Yellow is typically opportunities that are going to turn into work in 6 months or less. And then red's typically, 6 months or more. It's a much slower, longer burn strategy. And so I really encourage you to build out a really simple traffic light system. Our members use spreadsheets. I encourage you to use something like, Asana or Trello or one of those kind of platforms where you can assign yourself tasks and set little due dates for follow-ups and that kind of thing. But all of your opportunities should exist and live within this traffic light system. And you're constantly moving them around and writing little notes to say, spoke to the client today, still another couple of weeks before that proposal's going to drop, or had another coffee with such and such today, follow up in 3 months' time because there might be an opportunity. All of those should go into your traffic light system. And so then when you're looking at generating revenue quickly, you go to your green section and you just go, right, what are all the opportunities that are in my green section? What are all the opportunities that could turn into work in 3 months or less? Go down and you just hammer that column. You just go through that and go, right, are there existing clients in here that I can talk to? Are there active fee proposals? Are there recent BD meetings or events that I've been to that I could follow up? Are there, events with existing clients, promising chats over LinkedIn, all of those sorts of things, that opportunities that could turn into work in less than 3 months. You are just into that green column and you're going through that and just following up all of those opportunities. But if you don't have a traffic light system, how are you going to know one, where those opportunities are, and two, when to follow up. So that's probably a teaching on both the traffic light system and just in general. It's so important to have some kind of system for BD leads and following up. So that's kind of the first thing, team. Have a BD system, use our traffic light concept if you want, and if you want to generate revenue quickly, go to the green column and just go down the list and make the calls, book the meetings, do the follow-ups, do whatever you need to do to generate revenue quickly. So that's kind of the first teaching or concept. Second thing I want to talk to you about is key clients. So the easiest place to start is your existing client base or your existing client network. I think too often we look externally, we get excited about jagging that new big whale of a client, that new person coming in and giving us more money, but I think we really overlook opportunities with key clients and key existing clients to generate revenue quickly. So as an example, like the exercise that I got our boardroom members to run was, okay, well, sit down and like, who are your top current 5 key clients as an example? Like, who do you love to work with? Who pays you really good fees? Who pays you on time? You know, who has opportunities that you know are out there, or who has work or more work that you know you could get from them? And so you just sit down and you write a list of your top 5 key clients, and then you just literally call them. And I gave our boardroom members some scripts to kind of follow, which is like, you know, I'm enjoying working with you on this X, Y, and Z project. I've got some capacity at the moment, or myself and the team have some capacity at the moment in the next couple of months. Is there anything else we can help you with? Like just a very simple phone call, bit of a chit chat, and just go, hey, is there anything else we can help you with? Or, you know, you do some thinking and you look at that current project that you're working on with that particular client, and you just call them and go, hey, I've been thinking about the X, Y, and Z project. I was thinking about, you know, it could be good to get ahead of the curve here and do some extra bring forward actions or do some extra X, Y, and Z. Yeah, it'd be great if we could get in front of that early so it doesn't become a problem in the future. Are you cool if we start working on that now? So what you've done is in your client's eyes, you've looked like a hero because you're calling up and saying, hey, I'm thinking about that project and I want to make sure that X, Y, and Z doesn't become a problem in the future. Are you cool if we get going on that work now so it doesn't become a problem? So you're looking like a hero, but also you're bringing forward a bunch of work to plug that gap in your revenue pipeline. Or the third kind of thing is I was just thinking about that problem that you mentioned the other day when you and I were having that chat, and like, if you're up for it, like I've come up with a couple of ways that we can solve it. Are you cool if we get going on that? So just really simple scripting, talking to existing clients we already have key relationships with. Super easy way to generate revenue really, really quickly. All right, so that's key clients. The other thing is solving a problem for your clients as well. So we've kind of just touched on that, but like, again, sometimes we go, oh, I can't, like, you know, there's a big hole in my pipeline coming up. You start to freak out and you're like, you know, the world's ending and all that sort of stuff. I need to get rid of people and all that sort of thing. Instead of sitting down and going, well, I've got a bunch of existing clients. What's a problem that they might need help solving in their business? And sitting down and going and just spending, you know, 10 minutes, 20 minutes thinking about your client, their world, and what problems they might need help solving, and coming up with a way that you can help solve that also generates revenue for your business. So, you know, you could go through thinking about, okay, well, what are my clients always complaining about or worrying about? Okay, how can I solve some of those things? Like, what's a problem that my clients don't even know that they might have? Sorry, such as, you know, buried stuff under the ground, or things like, you know, getting surveyed before you start doing X, Y, and Z design. Like, what's a problem a client might not even know about? What's my client's overall goal and target on this particular project? Is there something I can do there to pitch a solution to them to generate some work? Or what new product or service could I offer to my clients to help solve their problems? So again, like, it's shifting the thinking. It's instead of being victim, you're being assertive and you're being, I'm taking the reins here. There's a hole in the pipeline. I need to fix it because I'm the business owner and I need to take responsibility for my business. All right, how can I solve a problem for a client, get an outcome, and get some more fees in the door? So think about solving a problem for your client. The other thing is partnering and referrals with other people that you know in the industry. So back in my consulting days, we were extremely successful in partnering. So we were civil towards the end, we were civil, engineering, town planning, surveying and architecture, but we didn't have town planning. So we were really, really successful in building partnerships, like referral partnerships with town planners, where they would tip us into work, we would tip them into work, and it just worked really, really well. So again, like sit down and think about who do you know in your network who isn't like a competitor, but like has your ideal clients on their books. Who could you go and talk to and just go, hey, you know, such and such, is there any work that you've got coming up? We've got a bit of a hole in our pipeline, I'm trying to fill it. Like, is there anything that we could help you on your projects, or could you tip us into work? Most people, if you know them well enough, are very, very happy to help. So think about partnerships with people, think about referral arrangements, or even if it's just like literally a handshake agreement, which is like, hey, I'll try and tip you into work whenever I can, and if you tip me into work whenever you can, that'd be awesome. So think about partnerships and referrals as a great source of generating revenue really, really quickly. So team, they're the core ideas that I put to our boardroom members in a training that was much, much longer than this. They had time to kind of sit down and write and think about it and talk to other boardroom members and that sort of thing as well. But I want you to think about this episode and like what's resonated the most with you, and like, don't just go, oh, that's great information, Josh, awesome, and keep going on with your day. Like, what's a great takeaway for you? What could you use out of that to help you generate revenue more quickly? So just, you know, pause the episode or just take 2 or 3 minutes after you stop listening to this and just go, cool, what's my action plan? Like, what am I going to do today, tomorrow, and next week to start to generate more revenue through some of the strategies that I've just learned on this podcast episode? Please do it. You know, taking action makes such a big difference in your business. And when you learn something new, it's all about implementing. Okay, team, that's enough from me today with this particular episode and this particular topic. So hopefully you've learned a bunch and there's some few strategies there that you can use to generate revenue quickly. But, so if you want to keep doing the business owner thing on your own, obviously we have a ton of free resources that help you, YouTube channel, podcast, website, you name it, it's kind of there. But if you want some help, if you'd love to just be shown a pathway and a process to follow, you'd love to be surrounded by a bunch of other smart cats, smart business owners who are on this same journey that you are, I'd love to invite you to book in a chat, to have a chat about our boardroom coaching program. So if that's you, if you're a business owner of an engineering, town planning, surveying or architecture consultancy, and you'd like to have a chat about how we might be able to help you grow your business faster, love to have a chat about boardroom. Thanks, talk soon.